So I got some epoxy mixed up, and I mixed up some fumed silica into it to thicken it a little bit. I want to try something a little different than I have done. I want to see if I can. Normally I've been brushing on a coat of epoxy and letting it kick off because it's thin, and then brush another coat and doing my glass. So I got it a little thick. I'm going to see if I can brush it. This is 1 ounce. 1.05 ounces, and I'm going to brush it on and see if I can get my cloth down and get everything to wet out nicely without any surface bubbles, and if I can, then that's great, and I'll just go from there. I'm only going to do 2 layers on all of it. I had been doing 3 layers on the wing, and it's too much. It doesn't need it. Everything's thick enough. With the foam, it's like a rock. It's overkill. It adds too much weight. So the top doesn't have as many panel lines. These panel lines I did after the fact because I had to do some mold surface repair. So they're a little bit big. I need to probably just sand them down a little bit more, but I don't want to do anything more to this mold because if this plane flies and I don't have to make any major changes, I'm just gonna make a new mold. Unless nobody wants one, and then I'm not gonna bother until I crash it. Which, you know, be positive, right? Now at some point I'll do something that the airplane just really can't do. I'll put thrust vectoring on the motors or something and do something stupid. We'll see. I don't have any plans for that. You never know. So this actually ended up pretty nice. I'm very happy with that. I think that's how I'm going to do this in the future. Because when I painted my original coat on, when I laid these up the other day, I let it sit, and then I went and put my glass down later, and I was still getting around these hatches and these panel lines. I was still getting a little bit of lifting right into the edge. And this is actually, it's doing a roll, but it's got enough thickened resin in there to keep it from looking all funky. Alright, now these pieces, this is this polyester fabric stuff. Oh, there we are. Some kind of polyester fabric. And when you lay it up, it's actually got a little bit of a honeycomb pattern develops, but I'm sure it's just the way it looks. The guy, Theracraft, right? Yeah. I bought the 2.5 ounce from them, and this they just called it a packing, like a packing fabric. It was just wrapped in the last 2 wraps of the cloth. So it's nothing, I don't think it's anything special. But I actually I like using it. I like the way it works. It's light, it soaks up nice amount of resin, and it gets stiff. And I just brush these pieces out on the table. Normally works just fine. Which one am I using? And I've been putting it on the leading edge and the trailing edge to thicken it up a little bit. I think it gives a little bit more to bond to when I bond the two halves. If you cut it this way and it widens it out a bit. It may not be enough to make a difference, but so I'm not doing like a lot of people do and getting in here and putting a strip of glass between the two halves. There's just no room, no space to do it. It's just enough for this one. And then I was going to try live hinges on the ailerons, and the shape of the wing bombed that idea, so on the fuse I just cut the aileron out, and I'm probably just going to get a piece of balsa and make it balsa, bevel the front. I have been trimming these pieces as I go in the regular layups, but I don't think I'm going to trim them because I don't believe I'm getting any lifting on the edge. Now this piece, because it's got a sharper edge, may be a different matter. So far I've been happy with the edges. And I'm just brushing it in, letting it soak up whatever resin it's got available to it, and then where I'm still holding air, like over these pieces here, I can give it some love, and it wets right out. It's been a pretty good fabric. It's the 2.47 ounce, like that. I just call it 2.5. I guess technically when you do this you want to wet it past the edge. I've done that on everything else. I'm not going to bother really getting picky here. It'll, when I go to bond the edges, it'll absorb the paste when I do that anyway. So. Alright, the other side. This one I wasn't paying attention, I cut the fabric wrong. So I gotta do this first layer. I'm just gonna do it in 2 pieces. This is actually sitting into the corner pretty well too, so I'm not gonna worry too much about this either. I'm not trimming it. And I think I can live with this. Alright, I'll come back when I'm done and show you.